Good evening. Good evening. Y'all give me a second. Let me just share and then I'm going to introduce my beautiful guest. I think this is posting. Hold on, y'all. Welcome to An Unscripted Beautiful Life. It's not posted somewhere. Okay, it is. Let's go share where it's going to share. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey. I have my beautiful sister, Dr. LaVonne Shaw. She's saying pastor of pleasure on her little title right here. However, I'm going with the erogenous coach, right?
Yes.
So I'm not going to read her full bio. I'm just going to give you excerpts of it, and you have to catch her at a beautiful life. Not a beautiful life, a beautiful encounter. Oh, wait a minute. Let me tell y'all. My co-host is missing this evening. He is stuck at work. So Mr. Beautiful may be able to join us, but if not, he gonna catch the replay himself. Okay, so let me do this. Dr. LaVonne Shaw, the erogenous coach, is an best-selling author, transformational speaker, relationship and intimacy coach. She has spent decades empowering women to embrace their femininity, reclaim their pleasure, and deepen their most intimate connections. Her work is not just about romance, it's about self discovery, confidence, and the power of fully owning who you are. She's on a mission to help women break free from shame, rewrite the narratives, and experience the beauty of unapologetic self love. She brings her wisdom and her transformative energy. She's bringing it to a beautiful encounter, y'all. So, listen, tonight, you're only getting a small piece of what she does. This May, with Erogenous Coach, some of y'all, you take what you want. LaVonne, how beautiful. How are you?
Hello, hello.
Thank you for
Excited to
joining
be here.
me.
Yes.
I am so excited to have you here. I'm just gonna say, just go on and tell the people what you do. Let's just go there. Let's just go.
What I do.
What you do?
So being the erogenous coach, I'll give you the snippet, my elevator speech. I help women and couples to minister between the sheets. And I
Listen,
love what I do.
there we go, right there. So it might be a good thing that Mr. Beautiful's not on here right now, because this would have surely turned into a beautiful after. But it still might. But I'm just saying. I am just saying. Okay. Um. Now we talk. So I let me share why you were a beautiful encounter 2025 is focused on living beautifully in power, purpose, and present. And Friday night is where Dr. LaVonne Shaw will be speaking. That night is only women, right? This night, because I wanted this night to be all about the power of who we are, leaning into the femininity, leaning into the intimacy, being able to really have a real and raw conversation about what that means without anyone feeling uncomfortable because men are sitting in the room, right?
Right.
And I know that you have done rooms where there's still men in there, but God said, no, it's time to have a real and raw conversation about who we are and truly embracing that. Because I know when you talk about pleasure, when you talk about erogenous, that there could be, right, this stigma that the world has around it, especially in the
Mhm.
church, right? But we all know, I mean, we're still married. We still have to please our couples and our mates and things like that. So, how is it been for you to break, I guess, that ceiling on that narrative that exists?
How is it? Well, it's still rough.
Mhm.
It's still challenging. Some churches are open, especially if the leadership is open, and then
Okay.
some churches are still closed mouth. I still have few pastors who reach out to me through our DMs and still can't understand or see how I talk about it so openly on social media. And I don't really go into depths. I just give a little snippet and enough to strike up a conversation
Mhm.
and calls people to call me and make an appointment to come see me, and we meet and we'll do the counseling or coaching, or we have a women's retreat or a one-on-one session or a couple session. But it's still taboo in the church.
Mhm.
It's still not talked about, and it needs to be discussed. And last month, of course, was the month of love and sensuality for me. And so the conversation that I tried to encourage, I got a lot of DMs. I had one person even telling me about um scriptures, that who is this person you with? And I was laughing because that was a good friend and we are influencers and we modeled together. And that was all that was. And it was just amazing. Amazing. The comments. I'm like, is this person really giving me scriptures? I'm not doing anything wrong.
So I remember when you first launched the photos, and we were like, "Oh, who is this fella?" Like, wait a minute, what did I miss a conversation? Like, what happened? Did Dr. LaVonne find love again? But so I can only imagine how your inbox was or how the comments were because okay, y'all, I'm telling y'all, this was like, wait a second, what's happening here? So, all right, what's the way I want to go with this?
You go ahead, honey. You know me.
Okay, talk a little bit about what leaning into your femininity means, what it looks like, or how someone can kind of discover what it is, right? Because I think sometimes because we don't have the conversations about that, right? And you like you talked about some of the churches are open and some aren't, and if the leaders aren't. So how do you begin to have those conversations to where it no longer feels taboo to talk about femininity and um the sensuality of who we are? Because that's how God's created us that way, right?
Exactly, exactly. So first, let me say this: the
Okay.
comments on the side you'll address because I got people saying hi and whatnot. So yeah, good. That's what I'm thinking. Hey, everybody, we see you.
Yep.
Um, but let me say this: this is how I open the conferences that I get invited to speak with, and it's simply from Genesis. In Genesis chapter 1, God created the moon and the stars, placed them strategically in the air. Then He created the water, the earth. He created all of that. Then he created the animals. Then he created Adam. And then he created Eve. Well, when he created Adam, guess what he also created? Adam was equipped with a penis. And Eve was equipped with a vagina. And they were looking at me like, what? I say, yes. And everything God made was good, right? So when the penis entered the vagina, glory to God. Hallelujah. It's all scripture.
You going there this early?
No, no, I'm just telling you. This
I
is
know, I know, I know, I know. So yeah, okay, go ahead.
yeah. So that's how we were created. The men are givers and the women are receivers. That's how we start. And you can't tell me that's not biblical. He designed you like that. And I'll hit you with some more later about how in your design, but he designed you like that. She says, glory. Yes. So with that, you should enjoy each other. Now we'll hit you with this because I get the question all the time. Well, how often are you
Oh,
supposed to do this?
uh-uh.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. Listen. However this go, God, you got it. Go. Let's go. Let's go.
How often are you supposed to do this? I said, well, for real, it's in the scriptures. It says when you are not supposed to be intimate when you're fasting and praying. But read further down because it says when you finish fasting and praying, come back together quickly. There was a reason because you don't want that space in there that allow the enemy to attack. When I tell you one time I was preaching in another state And the pastor pulled me to the side and told me they had to repent to their partner because they had never seen that word come back together quickly.
And I was about to say I knew the first part. I did not know about the second part.
They don't pay attention to that part. But that's my job to do the research to let y'all know. Come on together because it's worship. Not enough hours in the day. I'm greedy,
Tiff,
greedy.
I'm not messing with you tonight. You
That's
and Janelle. Uh-uh.
Auntie. Now let me tell you something. Well, I was trying to figure this out. Now I don't know. This is a whole nother story. So, working with women with menopause, and I told them, I said, well, menopause is us losing estrogen, correct?
Mhm.
So when you're intimate with your partner and the dopamine and all that's going, well, guess what? When you have an orgasm, you're releasing what? Estrogen. So the more orgasm you have, the more estrogen you have, and you probably won't be going through so much menopause. But anyway, that's just my theory.
That, but you know what? That is really a whole nother conversation because women going through, right? There's so many side effects when you're in menopause, and you like, oh, wait a minute, let me LaVonne,
What, girl? What?
listen. That okay, y'all. I'm just telling y'all, if you want to get her in full, like, don't be surprised if on Friday, June 13th, Dr. LaVonne Shaw say, all right, y'all, it's Kegel time.
Ah,
If we in there doing some Kegel, I'm trying to,
yes, work it out, work it out.
but okay, see, now I know. It's always, why me, God? Why me?
Now you can do it, Pat Kegel.
Because it's one of those things like, right? When God calls you to walk in the assignment, that there are going to be the naysayers, the ones that are like, what you mean you taught that? Or why y'all talking about that? So I'm so grateful that you are going to help us change the narrative of what we kind of been holding on to. Be like, oh, let me stay in the closet. But knowing, like you talk, what's the book name again?
Oh, sex between the sheets, what God allows. And the other one is the marriage bed revival, 21 consecutive days of intimacy, no penetration required. Boop, 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 boop.
And that one, that's the challenge one. That's the
Yes.
20. You have to do you and your partner an activity for 21. And she said no penetration required. If y'all don't go get these books, you're gonna have them with you at the conference, right?
I'll make sure I have them with me at the
Yes. Okay. Okay. So
Now let me tell you about that. That 21 days, I wrote that when my husband was alive. And originally, and Michael was my sound of reasoning at all times. He was the one that kept me grounded because I'd be up here. He would keep me grounded because I wanted to do 100 days. He said, ain't nobody want to do 100 days. And then he said, and you ain't killing me, right? I said, okay, 50. He was like, ain't nobody doing 50 days, Lamar. So I went back and I came back. I said, okay, 21 days is a habit. You get 21 consecutive days.
you right about that though.
21
Wow.
days.
Okay. Why is it important for us to create a safe space to be able to talk about femininity? Like as in your work, what have been some of the um reasons, right, that women may not necessarily open up and talk about it or want to be vulnerable and share that they have intimacy or femininity issues?
One, we're so busy being the boss and the leader that when it's time to shift and be soft, they don't feel safe. They're not comfortable. And a lot of times you have to allow your partner to lead. And it takes a minute because it's been a minute for me too. So when I was in a position where I had to be soft, and it was so funny because I really had to you know, relinquish being independent and just walk into my softness. But I love being a girl. I love just the matching bra and panties. I love all the different layers of how you smell good, prepare yourself. And but you need to prepare yourself for you. You know, this is March, so it's the month of the woman. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been posting about strength, courage, and wisdom. So you embrace your strength, you embrace your courage, you embrace your wisdom. We don't take time for ourselves. I think yesterday, it might have been yesterday or today, about forgiveness. We need to forgive ourselves. We have made some mistakes. We have made some bad decisions, and we hold on to them, and we don't allow ourselves to forgive ourselves and try again.
Mm-hmm.
And you should try again. It's okay. You learn from your mistakes.
Yep.
You learn what not to do. So don't do it again and try it this way.
Yes, Leslie and Tiffany say the softness. I wrote down release the what you said, release the control, walk in the softness. Because as women, mothers, caregivers, aunts, grandmas, all of the different roles that we play, where do we put us? Right? Where do we take the time to embrace that softness? Right? What does that even look like for someone that's so used to being in control? How do you even figure out what that looks like for you? Not just necessarily to please your spouse or, that time for your spouse, but to find that time for you. How do you define that?
You have to take time. You have to intentionally, and one of Leslie's favorite word, unapologetically take care of you.
Yeah.
You have to choose you. This is my day, and nothing's going to stop my day. Even if you just want to lay in the bed and eat bonbons all day, that's your day. You have to pick you, because I am a caregiver by nature. I do hospice care. I do foster care. I care. I'm
Mhm.
always putting out, to the point where I was depleted. And I was like, I can't do this anymore like this. And that's when I started teaching about ministering from your overflow. And I had to call myself on the carpet. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You're
Mhm.
supposed to pour from the saucer, and the saucer overflows from the cup. And what flows from the saucer onto the people that you touch and minister to. Your cup should never be empty. And when you start to feel like everything's evaporating from you, it is. Stop, take time, replenish. It might just, you might just need to sit in the shower. And I mean, sit in the shower, let the steam get to you. Just relax. Um, a song I was playing when I logged on. What is the name of that song? I think it's so great. What is the name of that song? Are You Real? Is that it? Are You Even Real?
Are you even real?
It's Are You Even Real by Teddy Swims.
Okay.
And it's just, he's just saying how beautiful you are. You're just so beautiful. And we forget that. We forget that we are beautiful. And that's why a lot of times I'm like, hello, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. And it makes a difference. You could
It
be a
does.
stranger on the street. I will call you beautiful, because sometimes that is the only person that you hear them say, I am a girl. And you remember the little girl. You know what I love? When I see a man kiss his wife on the forehead, and he'll treat her like his girlfriend, not his wife, but his girl. That's my girl. You know, just to be his girl. Like, oh, child, just get all giddy.
The back in the when you in love and you got the little puppy dog. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the butterflies. and
Yes.
and you can still have that, because date your partner. Date your partner. Don't forget, go out on dates. And if you can't afford it because of the times we might be in, create moments in your home. You can take your bedroom. You got these big old whirlpool tubs just sitting there holding stuff. Get in them together, you know, and talk and laugh. And don't talk about the kids. Just talk about your dreams or your fantasies or your things you want to try. And just talk about them. Like, well, how would we do that? And how could that happen? No, I'm not doing that. But at least talk about it.
Mhm.
Is there something different I can try? That conversation, I don't want you to have in the bedroom. I want you to have that conversation at a restaurant, someplace neutral. Is there something different I could do to please you?
That's good
Hmm.
because you don't ask that question.
You don't. You don't.
For it could be out of fear of because maybe you don't want to hear the answer or you think it's this long list of things that have to happen. And it could be something so special. I just want you to hold me.
Hold you. Most husbands tell me, I just need to know that she still finds me attractive. They worry about that too.
Mm.
So while
Mm.
he going around there slapping you on your behind, slap him on his every now and then.
I know that's right. I'm so glad Andre not on here right now.
Come on, Andre, we can do a part two.
Listen, he might just might. So if you see a text or email, like, okay, he said, come on. Hey, Mama Jones. Okay. So, oh, I just lost my question.
It's okay to come back.
It
If
was
not, I can.
I really listen. Y'all didn't catch that. Okay. So let's go because you talked about the dating piece of it. And I think, when you are dating, right, you're going on the dates, but then you get married, you're in a serious relationship, the kids happen, now all the activities happen, you do lose that dating time. And "Oh, well, how are we going to do this out? Grandma watched them already. Can we go do like help us let go of the excuses and say, you know what, if I matter to you, if you matter to me, then let's figure out how this works so that we can have that date or whatever."
It could be a day date. It could be, okay, so you have kids. Put the kids to bed. Go in the bedroom and have a picnic. Go where you could be quiet. And I'm talking about wingettes, some fruit, some cheese. Unless you're lactose intolerant, please take your pill. We don't want you blowing up the evening. And but just sit down and just have some intimate time. And that's intimate. And Lord Jesus, put your phone away.
That part.
Put your phone away
Yep.
and just be there. Just hear each other breathe, look at each other, see each other. When I tell you, when the pandemic hit and I was looking forward to doing my shows and stuff, I couldn't go on the air because I had so many husbands and wives calling me because they did not know who was home with them because they had been so occupied with work, activities, bowling, doing all these other things, church, taking kids to choir rehearsal. They were just doing routine. But when everything stopped, they were like, I'm here with a total stranger. Who is it?
Wow.
I had one husband call me and he said, we were going to meet on Monday. He called me Sunday and said she left. I said, well, sir, the world is closed down. Where did she go? She has to come back. Where's she going? When she came back, they went to separate rooms. And after about 6 months, they did work their way back. But it was because they were total strangers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say date your spouse now. Not, I mean, after you get married, date them. That's it. I see Andre. I see
You
Andre.
can listen. Look how quick he grabbing that chair.
Hey, sir.
Sorry.
Don't knock the screen down, Nick.
I'm sorry.
No worries, sir.
We
You
just
have to work.
yeah.
Oh, no lie.
We
What was this?
are live.
Oh, sorry.
You gonna take your coat off? You
No,
gonna
because
leave
I
it-
don't have
Oh,
my.
okay.
Yeah.
Catch your breath, sir. Catch your breath. It's
Well,
okay.
welcome.
It's been a day, y'all. Just to let y'all know, it's been a day. I love you.
No, you too. All right, Nick. Bye.
We back in, y'all. We back in.
This ain't a
Because I'm
conversation.
in my
'cause you
happy
going
place.
upstairs.
I'm in my happy place, y'all. It's a long day. It's been a long week. I'll say that. It's been a long week. But y'all get back to doing what y'all was doing. And I just chime in. I'm going to chime in.
All right. Okay. So you talk a lot, not a lot, but during your discussions, you talk a lot about pleasure.
Yes.
And I know it's not just physical. There's the mind. piece of it.
I need that.
There's the mind, right? Because
Yeah.
I know if he can make love to my mind, then he has all of me.
Yes.
See, that's why I need that. Because I know I ain't been doing that to the mind. So let's get this
So,
going.
without giving everything away, like what's a simple thing that we as women, or even the men, right? Because he's on here now, that we can do to lean into that part of it, the
So
mindset piece.
you can start with love notes. And they are, she said an after dark edition.
You probably right, Tiff. You probably right.
I'm gonna try to behave myself. That's why I let y'all do y'all thing, and I just chime in.
So you can start with seducing your partner, your spouse during the day. Say, and I always say this, like you can send a cute for the husbands, like I I have a matching bra and panties pulled out for you. I love to see you in this when I come home. And then you can give him some skivvies or something. And then, or you can give him the option, should these be on or off when you get here? There are different things you could do to keep it exciting. Did you wear this cologne? Or leave him a note in the morning, please wear Hugo Boss so that I can take it off of you in the shower this evening.
I asked her to leave a sock on the doorknob. Then I know.
See, you go.
Ah,
It says some sign, that scripture. So some,
sock on the doorknob. Just have it hanging.
that's a college
It could be a footy. It could be a long sock. It could be a black sock, a white sock.
God.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. I know what that means.
Just be a sock.
That's a sock. It could be a stocking, a Christmas stocking.
I'm not with you.
Just hanging on the doorknob.
Here we go.
I love it. I love it.
I'm sorry. I need this, y'all. I need this. I said to my director, he's like, man, Dre, get out now. And I had to leave. But it was in my head the whole time. I'm not missing this.
Well, welcome.
And not even just because of what we talking about. It sends me back to my happy realm. So keep on going. Keep on going.
That's what we want to be in that happy realm.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna behave.
Katrina, when they like that, they will skip to work and run home. Yes, they will.
Listen. I'm scared to ask this, but do you got any questions?
I'll catch up. I don't want y'all to have to start all over again.
No.
Because I ran from the car to the door.
No, we've just really been talking about how to overcome, the stigma that's associated with talking about femininity and not spirituality, but sensuality, especially with church, right? And so that's been a lot of.
But I mean, if we husband and wife, then it don't matter, right? Because we married.
You're right, and that's what Dr. LaVonne does. But just more or less, how to get other couples to talk about it in general.
I got you, because everybody's not always as open.
Jay says she will never look at the saints. Oh my gosh!
But let me tell you, there are Christian couples who are not intimate. There are Christian couples who are not having sex. There are Christian couples who are not enjoying it. I had one husband tell me when he got married, his mother told him the only way to have sex was in the missionary position. That was a lie. I've had one pastor go across the pulpit and said that oral sex was of the devil. That was a lie. And I mean, so no, there are different things you need to talk about. And if you don't talk about it, then you're sitting there lost and confused, and you don't know who to turn to because no one was talking about it, which is why I wrote the book. So they say, well, what does God allow? Well, God tells you what he doesn't allow, but otherwise the marriage bed is undefiled. So yeah.
I love that you say that, because I think sometimes as couples, especially, like if you're younger and maybe your parents never really talked about it. You didn't have the good examples of what it just was never talked about, that you give examples of here's how you start the conversation, with the 21-day challenge in particular. just so that they know where to begin.
Mm-hmm.
So that they not going to the dude, their best friend, and be like, well, how you on your wife? Like nobody's having those type of conversations, right? Or
because
if
as a guy, I'm just gonna say this. I feel like it's could be disrespectful to the other guy, even if y'all best friends, to be like to talk about.
so no, I guess I don't
Yeah,
mean not that talk about it in that way, but just to like really go and say, like even at marriage retreats, right? A lot of times it's not talked
yeah, it's
about.
not. It's not.
Right? The intimacy piece of it isn't talked about. So you don't know, oh, like if I'm sitting in a room, like, once they separated the men in, one room, the women another, like women may not necessarily say, well, I'm struggling on how to love my husband intimately. We don't have that conversation.
Right. You don't. And you stray away from it because they think everybody knows, but they don't. You don't have the conversation. You weren't taught, and your mother wasn't taught, and your mother's mother wasn't taught. Because a lot of times, of course, from a line from the movie is, he gets on top of me and do his business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not work. It's fun. It's beautiful. It's a form of worship, honey. How often should you worship? What the Bible say? All the time.
All the time.
And all the time, God is good. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Beautiful, tell it. But I try and make it creative. I was sharing with someone that our fingers are really called digits. Digits.
Yep.
So I would tell them you could have digital play in the car. They're like, what? You could have digital play in the car. So a lot of times you'd be fun if she's driving, she can play with him in the car. You don't
Hey,
need one in the car.
not to cut you off. Why you just coming on just now? We've been on here for a year. I knew you a little while ago. I knew you a long time ago.
Well, sir, I could only come when I was invited.
I know. I'm about to, we gonna have a talk. Hey, babe, what happened?
Oh my gosh.
She's building the audience up for me.
Yes. And myself.
Listen,
But wait. Digital play can work the other way around too, for him to drive and play too. So yeah.
Oh, she's speaking my language.
So
it ain't English.
Okay, listen. Y'all have to definitely get your ticket to come experience LaVonne at a beautiful encounter. Like I said, when on Friday night when she's on, that's the night of power and leaning into that. But I'm asking Dr. LaVonne, let me just ask this. When's the marriage retreat, the marriage something? Like what you got for couples coming?
Well, car insurance about to go up. That's funny, Tiffany. I will because I've got a lot of people, because I did Sex on the Beach in Florida. I love that part of Florida. And so they've been asking me to do it again. So I can get it together. We really need it now, especially with things going on. But yeah. So I want you to have sex on the beach, sex on the ocean, sex on the ship. We're gonna work it out.
Sex on the ocean.
Oh, Dre, let me tell you something. What I had, one of the things I sell, and I love it, is a scratch off globe sheet. So you scratch off all around the globe where you make love. So eventually, so the ocean or the cruises. Yeah.
How much that cost? How much that cost?
Okay, I'm literally sitting here like, and Nicole said noted.
Yeah.
So you keep it creative, you keep it fun. I miss
why you wasn't so mad at me to come on today. Because you knew this topic was for me. So yeah. No, go ahead and stay at work, mate. Okay. You don't need to be on this.
I said to that, I said it was probably a good idea. He wasn't on here, and then here you come.
Got it back live again.
They said you dumb.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Y'all know it. Hey, listen, we did it. What was it? How many hours we was together? Yeah. So they know I'm a little off a little bit. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I lost the words. What Rick said.
Rick said, keep on playing. Fish go swim. So you call that
His wife got all look, listen. When she said Tiff, Tiff got you covered, Rick.
Oh
Tiff
yeah, she got
Tiff got you
everything.
covered. She
Yeah,
got you covered. Tiff gonna have a whole emergency preparation kit, all of
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
So she
Y'all
got
be
you
fine.
covered, Rick.
Y'all be perfectly fine. Cause whatever you need, she always got it. I'm telling you.
Okay, let me go back to
But
my question.
yeah, sorry y'all. I had to,
Um,
It's okay.
oh,
Love is laughter. You got it. You got it.
Yes. Oh, they trying to spam me.
um, we talked about the safe space. Okay, let's just without giving away a lot of it, or going too much. What can they expect on Friday with you at a beautiful encounter?
They can expect a beautiful encounter with themselves. They will release and relate and prayerfully leave with a glow.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, you good?
Yeah, yeah. Just had a cramp in the side. Just a cramp, but I'm good. Stand on my feet for about 10 hours a day.
Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead. Question.
Um, no,
You at a loss for words?
it's been a long day. It's definitely been
Okay,
a long day. So
so
I'm sorry.
in terms of all of what you provide, you have women's conference, so things for women only,
Yes.
right? Then you've got the things for couples. Tell a
Yes.
little bit about kind of all these services and how you can assist. Because I don't know.
So I'm a licensed ordained preacher. I am a pastor. It says pastor and pleasure, but I am a pastor.
Mhm.
I am a certified sexologist and I am a certified dominatrix. And I have my own toy store. And for the church, because they're so deep, I call them marital enrichment tools
Listen.
You know how to beat it right.
because adults need to play with toys too. And one of the testimonies I always share is when I was reading my book at a poetry reading, and one lady came up to me and she shared with me that her husband had some type of surgery where they cut something they shouldn't have cut. And he could hold an erection, but not for long. So they had to incorporate oral sex. And she felt very uncomfortable with it because growing up, she was taught that that was dirty. But when I finished reading, she felt free. And so she said, I cannot wait to go home and make love to my husband. So it's things like that that I'll be sharing and I share with couples around the world.
It's just well needed.
It's well needed.
Because after some of the stuff that I encountered today, I don't think everybody's in tune with their partner.
They're not.
'Cause it was a lot of hostility out there today, but it's that's here nor there. But it was a
No,
good
but it's
time.
very important because if you
Yeah.
come together and you worship together as often as you should, it cause it will cause the two to become one. When you become one, you start to take on each other's love. You take on each other. But you can tell people who are intimate and who are not. You can see it. You saw it today. It's a reflection. I
Mm.
watch couples all the time. I just watch them. I just sit back and I watch people, and I can see who might be struggling. I can see who might have been intimate. I can see who wants to be intimate, and you see it. So yeah.
So let me, as your people watching, do you ever just like openly just offer advice, or how support? How do you, what does that look like? Do you just kind of sit back and just watch and don't you stay silent, or do you say, hey?
I have sometimes just make a mental note or put it in my notes to teach about it. I've had one young lady that I literally pulled to the side and I shared with her. I said, "You have just emasculated your husband." And
Mm.
she looked at me and I was like, "It's not what you say, it is how you say it." And if you say, "I don't want to say it," no, I know what you don't want to do, but if you want this done, how you deliver it makes a difference. And you
That's
just have
so
to take
good.
time and filter what you're saying. You'll get the same results, but if you yelling at the top of your lungs to take that trash out, hey honey, hey, can you catch the trash for me? The trash gets
No,
out. The trash gets out.
she froze.
So yeah,
But do y'all see how the voice changed?
yeah, the tone.
It's the tone, and so if y'all don't follow LaVonne on social media, and she'll include all her social media links, and I'll include them in the thing. But her videos, when she's speaking, like there's such a calm and inviting tone. You like, oh, okay, now, Dr. LaVonne, like, and it makes you understand, like that's what you need to be to go, like get back into that the softness.
The softness of how you were created, how you were
Yep.
designed. Your softness will carry you far. And we are so busy trying to be the boss, even when you come
Yes.
home. I've had people say, "Well, how do you do this, this, and this?" Well, when I come home, I'm a girl, I'm a lady, I'm his girl, I'm his woman, so I can do that. And I don't have a problem leading in public. And I don't have a problem stepping back and letting him lead. Now, I can make $10 million a day, and he can make $20,000 a day. But guess who is in charge? He is, because the Bible says the man is responsible for the marriage. If it all goes right, it falls on him. And if it all goes wrong, it falls on him, not me. But I don't have a problem of stepping back and letting him lead.
That's so good because going back to what we talked earlier, when we as women wear the cape, it is hard to let go of that and become the softness that not even just for ourselves, right? Because we cannot walk in that energy of I'm gonna save the day every day all day. Like we have to release and let go and get back to let me be soft, because then that allows him to step into the husband, that position, that leader.
The leader.
And I know that for me, and I think I've shared this on like how originally when I was at the public accounting, how for me, I think I was holding on to the income. So I'm going to control, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and not allowing him really to have his voice in what happens in the house. Because I was too busy, like, nah, I make all the money, da 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 da. May not necessarily have said it, but that's how I flowed. And I can admit that now after stepping back and getting into now we are truly, it is a true, like now it's a true partnership. And
Mhm.
understanding like, okay, Trina, you've got to let go to allow him to step up because I was hindering him from walking in his power because I'm
It,
like, nah, I'm ahead. The
it happens. And what I say to most marriages, you probably should have four accounts: the savings account, joint account, his account, your account. And both of you all get an allowance from the joint account. And then you have that money there. So you get 1,000, you get 1,000. And then we have that to pay the bills out. And when your 1,000 runs out, it runs out to the next time you get allocated some more money. So different things happen, but you have to come together. You have to sit down and make a plan. Two things I want to say, because I could forget. The first one is I had a marriage ministry invite me in to speak. So what I did was teach them how to hand dance. And you might think that's strange,
oh,
but I taught them how to hand dance. And I taught them how to hand dance because in hand dancing, the male should lead. And in the couples that were having issues, hand dancing, guess what?
It's because the woman didn't, the wife didn't want to let go.
Where did we go when we did that? Was that the 12-12?
No, it was the one that Pastor Jeff and Lisa.
Yes. That was cool. That was
So
cool.
when they don't want to, because both of them are trying to lead, and I'm like, no, allow him to lead. Let him lead, and you follow his lead. And guess what? When you hand dance, you just flow into it. You just flow with each other. It's like making love to music. So you already got the foreplay right there at the hand dancing. And when I tell you one couple didn't make it home, they went and got a hotel room. When I tell you,
I know that's right.
it was like, I was like,
They led by example. We'll be the first to lead. Yeah, that was cool though.
Oh wow.
but that makes a difference, the following and being in your softness. And again, what you said, you take off your cape. When you take off your cape and put it down and just let it rest, just be there and let him allow him. We don't.
Okay, so I had this is my question, and this is probably more of a personal in nature, right? So leaning into the softness, like I'm not the girly girl, like I'm gonna dress up in heels and dresses and all those other things, right? So how do you lean into the femininity part of you, and you don't like all the frills and the dresses, and you know what I mean,
She
like.
used to wear dresses. That was one thing that pulled me. Telling you. Seen her in that dress one day.
but
It's like, wow.
but now it's like, no, of just like, I know it's not the outfit, right? I know it's the internal, because I can have on the sweatpants and the leggings or whatever, and that's a whole nother thing for him. But just for that woman that's watching, right? That may be like, I don't know, how to lean into, or what am I trying to say? Da, 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 da.
Let me help you a little bit.
Okay, thank
So I had one young lady who's very tomboyish.
you. Hmm.
So the LaVonne, I don't like that free foo foo shoo shoo stuff. So I said, okay, guess what I can get you? I can get you boy shorts that are lace.
Now see,
What?
that's go ahead. I'm gonna keep
And
yeah.
and then you can still wear the t-shirt. Just make it a crop t-shirt or put some splits in it. And then you can still have the matchy bra under it
Mhm.
and make it kind of sexy. So there are different things you can do. Now he said he saw you in dresses. So get back to those dresses, Katrina. Did you not hear him? And then I saw on this thread right here about the sock, and they said something about a moo. Those moo. You out there.
Oh, okay. So Jay said about the muumuus, because on Friday night we are it's dressing a muumu.
Oh, okay.
So that's why she said that. Yeah.
What time is
So
that?
That's Friday. You can't come to that part.
I thought something like this Friday. You was gonna be in one, and y'all was gonna be on here. I was gonna sit on the step and watch you, but go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love him.
That
So
reminds me, there's a woman on Instagram. I don't know where I seen her reels. She's in the movement, and she's just always doing little twerks and stuff with it in front of her husband. It's so
in front of her
funny.
husband,
What
loving
is
it, honey,
doing
just
so?
twerking. I see her too.
Yep.
But but what's under the moo, And then you can ask them.
Leave
Here's
it
a
for your
red. Here's
imagination.
red. Here's what's your favorite color, Dre?
Blue and green.
Okay, so green. You get matching bra and panties, real lacy, or just something, or not necessarily expensive, because if it gets ripped off, you're not worried about it.
That's
So yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
with that Sheen. With that Sheen, that joint ain't that much. Don't go to Victoria's Secret. We don't need all of that.
You don't need all that.
Shit.
So I meet you where you are. So you just have to be creative. And you don't now. I love lingerie. I love sexy lingerie, but you don't have to do that. Because
Mhm.
I've had guys say, you could put on a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and I'm cool with that. Basically, they like, don't come to bed with nothing on. It's just know who you are. I have a couple, her husband never saw her with the lights on.
Mm.
But she was so embarrassed about her body. He never got to see her. But he loved her and he still made love to her. But he said, I don't get to see her because she doesn't want me to see her. So
That's
that took a lot of unpacking and
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
yeah, that gets into, the claiming the hello, my name is beautiful piece of it too, because if you're not confident enough, regardless of the size, the shape, long hair or not, then you'll never be able to. And so I think that's a hard thing for women as well. It's like if you don't have the confidence in who you are, how are you going to show up for your spouse the way that is needed?
But that's the conversation parts that you have when you're not in the bed, but you go outside. So, but get someone. Your partner will love you. Your partner will love your folds, your rolls. Your partner will love your flaws. Your partner will kiss your stretch marks
Yep.
Mhm.
if
It's
he's your.
it's for me. It's like, where's that Waldo book? Where's Waldo? I'm searching. I'm searching, y'all.
I cannot.
We lost the sound. What happened?
Is it back? I think we
We back
back.
in?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all might already said this, but do you make soundproofing rooms?
Soundproof room.
Yeah, little stuff you put up for
Hold on. We just
soundproof. Cause that I'll just being honest, that's a lot of the times. Like me, I don't care. I don't care because it's like they gotta learn about it somewhere. And if they sit down and they hear us, then we gotta talk to them and explain it to them. Like this is what you get when you marry the love of your life. You get to have these fun times, you know.
You
So
get to go to worship,
I'm
honey. You get to
cool.
go in.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Yeah,
she said go in. Oh
yeah.
God.
But
But
so I just
you can soundproof your room or make it part of your date where where you have someone watch your kids and then you go to a soundproof room. Let me tell you, honey,
if somebody
the
watch
room
my kids, I don't need no soundproof room. Damn, they gone. Get on out of here. Get on
the
out of here.
Poconos. One of my favorite places, the Poconos. The Poconos are soundproof rooms.
Oh,
It
I
should
didn't
be with the
know
name
that.
Poconos,
Listen,
but I'm sure I ain't think about that till she said Poconos, and
no,
I'm like,
so I think even if the kids, right, that kind of brings in some of the, oh, let's do a quickie real quick. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, so then there's that added pleasure. Like, let's see if we can get it in,
before somebody
before
hear us or
somebody hit.
see us, or before they even come in.
Or
Yep.
make appointments. Like I'm gonna tell you, there was time I was taking care of my mother-in-law and my dad, and so Mike and I had a date to go away for the weekend. And I knew what was expected on the date, but I was exhausted. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, I'm tired. I said, but if you let me get like a good 5-6 hours of sleep, I promise I will rock your world the rest of the weekend. I promise. Let me get some sleep. And he was like, cool, no problem. And I went to sleep, and I mean, I slept, and I woke up about 3 in the morning, and I was like, "Hey, I'm good to go. How about you?" Right? And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm on." So, but if you talk about it and just work it out, because sometimes you are tired, but you're gonna make an appointment. Hey, 5 o'clock a.m. And it's when I tell you, vitamin D will get you good and going in the morning.
Yeah, it will.
Mm-mm.
He said, "Yeah, it will."
Yo, so she gets up early for her calls, and I've always been waiting.
Tiffany said the HEPA room cleaner is on high every night. You can't hear nothing. That is okay. Oh, this
That's what you
okay.
gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, we have to continue this conversation, LaVonne. So I'm going to check with you and figure out when you can come back with us. But y'all, get your tickets for a beautiful encounter, beautifulencounter.com. LaVonne is coming and bringing all of what she brings on Friday night. LaVonne, how can those that want to connect with you, follow you, all social medias? Where can the people go?
The website is www.erogenouscoach.com, EROGENOUS coach.com. Definitely on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok is the Pastor Pleasure. So
Okay.
yeah.
Because and I realized that you skipped up when you talked about the dominatrix part of it. Like, oh, that's a whole nother night. Like, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
night.
That's a way of a
That's
night.
not really after dark, beautiful after dark, dark. Um, but y'all go get your tickets at beautifulencounter.com. LaVonne, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. I am so grateful for you, so grateful that you are changing the narrative on what it means to be pleasurable, pleasure, all of those different words, the femininity, the sexuality. I am so grateful that you are where you are.
Bless your heart. And I love you too. And you're one of my favorite couples.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we
We
appreciate that. Yes,
appreciate
we
you.
do. Yes, we do. Because we hear it all the time. And I'm like, dang, all we needed was one, but I've heard about 3, 4 people, and it warms me that because sometimes I don't know. I'm like, man, am I doing enough? But other people are seeing it. So
You talking
thank
about the
y'all.
show?
No, just period. When they
Oh.
say that they love us as a couple and things, because I don't care what nobody say. As a man, we always gonna second guess: are we doing enough?
We all
Sir,
do.
well, I told you in Jamaica.
Yeah.
She did.
So thank you so much. Thank
Well,
you.
we thank you and thank y'all for joining us. We are definitely going to figure out a part 2 and how to bring this back. But get your tickets, get your tickets, get your tickets. Frida said this has been very interesting. Listen, Frida.
Frida, get it in. Get in, Frida. And congratulations again. But yes, this is for everybody.
It really is for everybody. And I'm just grateful that, the comfort that you bring to be able to have this conversation I'm so grateful for, because I'm telling y'all, go follow her on social medias and y'all will hear the tone that I'm talking about, because it's that slowness, like, baby, now, you know what I mean, like that piece of it. It's that sexual voice. Like, she should really be on what's that, the rate after
The sex song?
the slow jams radio. You know
Oh.
how they used to
Yeah,
do that,
yeah.
like
With
that
the Quiet
nightly.
Storm. I
Storm.
don't even remember who was
Quiet
that.
Storm After Dark.
Yes,
Yes, Quiet
y'all,
Storm.
wait, say it again, because y'all
The,
got the head.
the Quiet Storm After Dark, where you can have a beautiful encounter.
Listen. But we thank
I'm trying
you.
to think of a movie that was on. It
It's
was a
not.
movie.
It's on WHUR.
Yeah, no, but it was a movie where a guy
I think it's HUR.
would come in. Yeah, I remember the Quiet Storm, but it was a movie I was watching, an old movie, and the DJ would come in and he would talk like that.
Oh, it was a recent movie.
And that how the DJ or
Uh-huh.
VJ, I guess, is it DJ
The
or VJ?
DJ.
Yeah, DJ, and that was like, dang, that's a crazy talk. That's
Mhm.
yeah.
Tiffany said we're gonna need a mic session.
I teach you how to rock the mic too.
Listen, okay. We're gonna have to figure out part 2. But listen, get y'all tickets for a beautiful encounter, beautifulencounter.com. LaVonne is the first speaker that we are announcing during March Women's Month. So get ready for next week's announcement. But get your tickets, invite somebody, be in the room, because we are changing all narratives surrounding power, purpose, and presence,
Mhm.
and pleasure, and femininity, and spirituality, and sensuality, all of the different things, all of that. So thank you, LaVonne. We
Thank
will see y'all
you.
next week. Thank you.
Thank you much.
You're
Y'all have a
welcome.
great one.